And you know what, Leel? Let me just say something about the huddle really quick. When you in a huddle, usually it's just the quarterback, one player calling the plays. We got multiple quarterbacks in this huddle, and we calling all sorts of different plays.
Exactly.
Hey, the word of the day, man, is respect. If you don't got respect, you don't have nothing in this game, man. Respect, you can't buy it. I can't assign you respect. You gotta earn it. You gotta earn it. You want your name on the back of this jersey to mean something, you gotta earn that respect. You want these colors, these jerseys to mean something, you gotta earn that respect. Snap in, snap down. Every single time you step on this field, man.
It is that time again, Central New Yorkers live stream listeners. The time is now 8 p.m. and you're listening to WSUC 90.5 FM. This is another episode of The Huddle with the real Leel, myself, Kenny C, and a new addition to the show as a co-host, Robert, to the show. So let's get inside this huddle. Gentlemen, how's it going?
Well, you know, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, nice day on this Monday night. Not too cold, not too hot. Just around that, space where you want it to be. You know what I'm saying? And, we got some football on right now. Currently, we got the Saints. We got versus the Houston Texans. We got a doubleheader tonight. Obviously, no AB tonight because, we all know about the move that we're going to get to in a few minutes. But, hey, y'all already know how I feel, man.
Robert, get in the huddle, Rob.
Rob, how you doing, man?
Listen, man, it's a pleasure to be here, and it's a pleasure to be on the show as a permanent addition. It's a good day, man. I'm excited to talk some football, see what we got going on, and see what you guys' thoughts are on the games on Sunday. So let's get right into it.
Ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, I'm just ready to get this show on the road.
You heard it.
That sound better. I was wondering why it sounded like a piano. Ladies and gentlemen, now we back and running. This is In the Huddle, and we had games yesterday, man. It was week 1 of the football season, man.
Let's jump right into
it. What we got on the agenda, Kenny C?
So we're going to start this thing off right with Sunday night's game, New England Patriots versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Terrible game for the Steelers as they got routed 33-3. Gentlemen, thoughts on this game?
I'll tell you what. It started out rough for the Steelers and didn't really get better. You know what I'm saying? Roethlisberger threw for 276 and an int. James Conner couldn't get it going on the ground, averaged 2 yards a carry. Juju had an all right game, 78 yards receiving, but, they couldn't get anything going against this Patriots defense. It was scary out there for them, and their defense wasn't a match for the Patriots whatsoever. The only player on the Patriots that struggled was Sony Michel with 15 carries for just 14, but everybody else was just running over the Steelers last night.
And they actually used Rex Burkhead more in the backfield this game.
Yes, they did.
That's the point I wanted to make about the Patriots. Rex Burkhead, we all know, like, he was on the roster. He's been there with them, but the fact that the Patriots can make a guy like Burkhead, who's supposed to be like a third-string running back, and have him perform and be the number one guy in that game, that just shows you Belichick's versatility with every player in his offense getting involved and doing their own specialty.
I mean, ladies and gentlemen, talking about the Patriots here. First of all, I think that let's start with the Steelers, right? I don't know what a lot of people was thinking, right? And I know it's week 1. I know it's against the Patriots, and, obviously, when you play the Patriots, not 8 times out of 10 you're going to lose the game regardless of who you have. But
right.
You don't replace talent like that, like of an AB, Antonio Brown, and of Le'Veon Bell. Yes, I know Juju Smith-Schuster came in, but he was a number 2. He was not the number 1. Antonio Brown took a lot of the attention away from Juju Smith-Schuster, which allowed a rookie and Juju to be able to do what he do. You know what I'm saying? Which was able to be that second option. But now he's the number 1 option. Bill Belichick. What is Bill Belichick known for? Taking away your best option. Then it became the other receivers that the Steelers have. Moncrief, who dropped a lot of balls, who looked like he wasn't ready for prime time. James Washington, the number 3. You know what I'm saying? He had a catch, a nice deep ball catch, but that was basically all he did. So a lot of people thought that the Steelers was just going to reload Yes, I expect them to be much better than what they showed last night, but at the same time, you just don't replace talents like AB and Le'Veon Bell.
And here's the thing, though. The fact that AB and Bell, we all know what happened with Bell. Lazy, didn't want to play, wanted to get paid, and then, obviously they lost him. But overall, getting rid of AB, the talent is gone, yes, but what they were doing to the locker room environment and the team as a whole, it needed to be revamped. And yes, they did not play as well as I'm sure, wanted to in this first game, but it is game one, and we'll have to see what they do better to improve the offense. But I still think they'll be all right.
I mean, let me tell you something. You're taking away a top 5 running back in the NFL out of your offense. James Conner performed admirably last year and really did pick up the slack with Le'Veon sitting out and not getting his money. So Conner did a good job, but he's not Superman. He is not as talented as Le'Veon Bell, and I don't think there's an argument there. And also you have to take into consideration Antonio Brown has been the best receiver in football over the last several years. So when you take those two pieces out of an offense, you're really you're going to sputter. And I do think Smith-Schuster can replace Antonio Brown. I don't think he will have the same ceiling, but I think he can perform admirably, and I think he'll do a good job. But for right now, the Steelers are going to struggle.
I say Julio, the best wide receiver in football. But, Antonio Brown is right up there. And, yes, Steelers are going to struggle. But you look at that Patriots defense, man. You see, the thing about the Patriots is that they can kill you in different ways. Sometimes it was their offense, their defense was lagging. But most of the time, they always had a historical decent defense. With the times of Richard Seymour and all those guys, Billy McGinnis, and then you fast forward. They had Revis, for a year, and now they just have a decent defense, decent defense. That the McCourty twins is out there hustling. Stephon Gilmore. Guys on the defensive line are coming back from injuries.
Michael Bennett is a
very big addition. The Patriots defense is a key reason why I believe that they're going to be a force to be reckoned with when it's all said and done.
Go ahead, Kenny. You got
real quick, Rob. That's the thing with Belichick. It doesn't really matter if they have stars or not on the defense. The overall scheme and play calling is what makes them so lethal. And I agree, Leel. It is scary come playoff time to see what's going to happen with that.
And you look at the offense. Oh, go ahead.
All I'm gonna say is like you even saw a highlight of both sides of the Patriots death machine, if you want to call it that. In the playoffs last year, AFC Championship, they won the firefight against Mahomes. Like there were some questionable calls in that game that I think could have gone either way, but at the end of the day, they won the firefight. And then you come against the Rams, and the Rams are a defensive giant. Aaron Donald, best defensive player in the league. That defensive,
the best player in the NFL. Great. A lot of people argue top 100, number one.
Yeah, listen, he's and they won that defensive matchup. They won 13-3. Like that was they had to grind that game out, and it wasn't. They didn't have the opportunity to go for the firefight. You know what I'm saying? Like they weren't able to use their offense to that same potential they had against the Chiefs. So they went on both fronts, and with the addition of Antonio Brown, this team is looking to repeat yet again.
See,
and real quick, Kenny C, you look at the receivers, and yeah, we about to bring Antonio Brown into the equation. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a whole nother animal. But you look at the receivers that were there on this game. Obviously,
I was about to say they don't even need to add AB.
Really, Philip Dorsett had a coming out party. He's a guy that he was, he struggled here and there. Mm-hmm. But in this game, 4 receptions, 95 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Look who his quarterback is, Lil.
Tom Brady.
Brady's gonna make you great.
And when AB comes, Philip Dorsett is gonna be not a number 2 option or number 3 option. He's gonna be a number 4 or 5 option. You still got Demaryius Thomas. Still got the rookie N'Keal Harry from Arizona State. Edelman, 6 receptions, 83 yards.
Hurt, right?
Josh Gordon, let's not forget.
Thomas is out, yeah.
Isn't the rookie hurt too, Harry?
Yeah, he's hurt.
Yeah, so you look at James White got 56 yards on 3 catches. Rex Burkhead even got in there for 40
When you have your running
receiving.
Backs, Rob, incorporated.
Yeah, both of your running backs combined for 97 receiving yards, which is dangerous. Which is just ridiculous, honestly. So like your two, they're not even really like used that much. Like they only rushed for 12 combined, Burkhead and James White. But like the fact that they both put up over 140 yards and they're not your starting running back.
Yeah, they use White a lot for that reason.
Right, but it's incredible
For
that
receiving.
that much power is in that lineup. And now here's what you got. When you bring in Antonio Brown to this offense, it is not a necessity, it is a luxury. And I'll tell you what, I think it's going to fit into the mold perfectly. And the reason for that is Bill Belichick is a no-nonsense coach. And I don't think he cares what AB's drama situation is at all. I think that's just the type of person.
Now that's the thing
Central-
that brings a question for me. Will Belichick deal with any BS, let's just say, that Brown's going to bring to that team if he acts the same way that he did with the Raiders?
I mean, you see, let's officially dive into the Antonio Brown situation.
We
Essentially,
gotta
New
go
York
right
is.
into it.
I want y'all to call up and let us know which I feel about the situation, which I feel about the games. With the request line, which is 607-753-4819. Once again, 607-753-4819. Once again, 607-753-4819. Call up and get into the
I urge
huddle.
you to get into the huddle.
But like we just discussed, man. Saturday, I was watching Serena Williams. And I get an update from you, actually, Kenny. See, you was the one that actually broke the news to me when Antonio Brown got signed to the Patriots. Now, going back to Antonio Brown and this whole Raiders situation real quickly, you know what I'm saying? I really feel, and I'm going to sit here and I'm going to tell y'all,
Leel.
and I'm going to tell y'all, Central New Yorkers and my co-host in the huddle, this was a plot. This was a script by Antonio Brown. He never wanted to play for the Raiders.
Hey,
He wanted out.
You saw First Take? Max Kellerman broke that down perfectly.
I didn't get to see the show, but I know for a fact, any guy with eyes that can see the blind man across the street should have saw that this was a whole plot by Antonio Brown. I mean, come on, with the feet. All right, and the helmet grievance.
I mean, yeah, that was definitely all those things. Yes, Leel, I agree, and if you guys haven't seen it, Max Kellerman pretty much sums that up perfectly. The fact that he brought the drama to the team to specifically be like, all right, we're done with this guy, get him out. They got him out. I don't know if he knew that he was going to get picked up by the Patriots. Maybe he did on the low-key end with Belichick, because you never know. But he wanted out, and we know the Patriots are known to pick up guys that are either controversial or people think are washed up, like when they got Randy Moss.
I'm going to tell you something right now. There's no doubt in my mind that you guys are spot on with this. And I'll tell you what, Max Kellerman has some... the idea of First Take is you go on First Take and it's just your first initial reaction before anybody else has really said anything about it.
Exactly.
So there's times where First Take turns into some real bad takes. But this take from Max Kellerman was summed up perfectly. And it's not that hard to piece together. AB did not want to play for a terrible team in the Oakland Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
He did not make that team that much. He didn't solve the problem. The team's defense is god-awful. They can't do anything on defense. And their offense is not that great. Josh Jacobs might be good this year. We'll see later tonight. We play at 10-20. But, we'll see his debut. But, the idea, AB initially probably wanted to go to the Patriots straight up. But
the Patriots tried to trade for him. There's reports that said they offered a number one pick.
I think Belichick might have been involved with that.
There's no
Who knows?
There's no chance in the world the Steelers would have traded him to the Patriots straight up. But now that he's there, I think this is what he wanted all along.
I mean, he wanted to dictate his future.
I think he wanted to stick it. I think he wanted to stick it to Big Ben as well. I think it's personal. I got to be honest with you.
When you think, I don't know that probably has something to do with it.
I
but
could agree with that.
I feel like it's
saw
more
what
of
happened with him and AB. Him and Big Ben.
Yeah, but at the same time,
it's all me. I don't give credit to Ben.
But at the same time, he wanted to dictate his future. You see how it is in the NFL. Guys don't have a lot of leverage per se in the NBA. When a player in the NBA could go up to you and be like, "Listen, I want out, and if you don't trade me, even though I got 2 years left of my deal, I'm gonna leave." So now, they gotta find a trade and they get to dictate their future. The NFL is different.
Yeah, I do think the NFL should give the players more options with that. Like you saw Zeke. Like Zeke didn't go to training camp. Zeke was like, I want my money, man. I'm one of the best running backs in the league. Like, I need my money.
And
So
he had that type
Something
of
that
leverage.
gets me, but that's a
But,
whole
like,
different topic.
Antonio Brown, he wanted to dictate his future, and he got traded to the Raiders. He didn't voluntarily go to the Raiders. He got traded to the Raiders, act like it was going to be Landy and Dandy in the beginning, but then had a plot
But
to get out of there so they can release him, so he can be like, all right, I'm going to dictate my future, because that was the plan all along. I wanted to dictate my future, not the Steelers, not the Raiders.
Real quick,
It's me.
the thing with that, I agree with that, but the thing that just intrigued me about all of this is the fact that he did stress that he wanted to be paid and paid well, and the Raiders were giving him outstanding money had he stayed. 50 million and exactly 30 million guaranteed, making him the highest paid wide receiver in the league. But then, as you mentioned, all along he's like, this team's terrible, I don't want to stay here. He'll take a completely less amount of money and be on the Patriots and actually have a shot to win a ring, rather than go for the money. So
I do the
I
same
can agree
thing
with
too.
what he did,
I'm gonna keep
but
it
the
real
way
with
he
you.
did it kind of got me angry, because back to what we said last semester, we both came at AB for the diva concept. He's a diva, Leel, and that whole thing kind of got to me, the way he went about everything.
He'll always be a diva.
That got to me.
For the record. But let me tell you this. It's not like the Patriots are paying him chump change. He's got he's got 15 million coming in this season. Like, it's not like he's losing
And
money.
he got 10 million guaranteed.
No, yeah, they're not. I'm
There's
not
a $9
saying
million
he's
signing
not getting
bonus,
paid.
He's got
But
guaranteed money.
He may
in
not
the
be
deal.
the number
Yeah.
one paid in the league, but you're right. He's getting paid well.
And it's a 1 year deal. You win yourself a championship. You say it does work out. Then you might re-sign the guy. If not,
there's
he can go.
there's an option
And
to
then-
resign him as well. Yes.
Exactly.
And then Robin Leel, there's this whole thing right here about maybe the KD aura about him. The fact that he's going to do what he needs to do to get to a super team to get a ring. Because he definitely wanted a ring. And when the Steelers failed to do that several times with him, and then he goes to the Raiders, he's like, I'm not going to win a ring here. And then he's going to go and join a superstar team.
He's gonna go
Who we mentioned before didn't even need him.
Yeah.
Judging by the way they played last night.
He's going to go to the place that's
So,
most likely
yeah, he
to
wanted
win
a ring.
championship. Exactly.
And at the same time, like I said, him just running, I'm traded, excited. Like, it's almost like, and then the Patriots come out with a deal right at the bat, right when it came to 4:00 when he was eligible.
It's
I
all
feel like
adding up, Leel.
it's adding up. It's adding up like a math
it was
question.
Like pre-planned, in a sense.
If I bring it right back to football here for a second, what I was going to say before, this makes AB the number one, obviously, on the Patriots. It moves Josh Gordon to number 2, takes pressure off of him.
Give or take Edelman.
And it
Give or
makes
take
Edelman.
Edelman probably
I put
He could be the number
Edelman
2.
right in the slot. And make Edelman your slot
But the
guy.
fact that he carried in the Super Bowl makes me convinced that
Basically,
he's the number
Antonio
2.
Brown is going to be on one side. Josh Gordon going to be on the other side, and Edelman going to work the middle.
Yeah, I think Edelman
I can see
always
that.
has the opportunity to be a go-to. He's been with the team so long, like, he's always a go-to for them. I do agree that he did great things in the Super Bowl for the Patriots, but when you step back and look at it, man, like, you can do whatever you want with this receiving core now. The only thing you're missing is Gronkowski, who's going to come back week 8 or something anyway out of retirement to play and win it.
I don't think I'm saying he's donezo.
I think if Brady calls him, he'll come back. But we'll see what happens.
Gronk was at the game, and people were saying he did not look like he was in football shape whatsoever.
Honestly,
I think that man's just gonna go
we-
to clubs and relax.
As we finish up on this AB situation, man, I just wanna give him the applause for having everything choreographed, having a social media
Throw that
consultant.
in there. Throw that
I
in
gotta
there.
throw the instrumental in there. Congratulations,
He's gonna
AB.
be on an Ellen DeGeneres talk show right now.
Yup. Congratulations, AB.
Of course.
You played yourself. You played yourself. But you know what?
Well, he played himself in exactly the way he wanted.
Yeah, and the way he wanted to. And listen, man, Tom Brady now has an option of having the number one option now. You know what I'm saying? It's not like the Chris Hogans. You really think about what Tom Brady had to work with. The Chris Hogans, the Wes Welker.
He
You
made
know what I'm
them.
saying? He made
He
them
made them great.
great. Now you have a receiver that's already great. That will make an older Tom
Yeah.
Brady
And
greater.
I really hope this doesn't become a Warriors team.
I mean,
I know
It is
you want
already is.
to. I know you want
Of course,
to.
you
You're
know
a
what I'm saying?
fan.
It already has.
It's already a
In
Golden
my
State
opinion.
Warriors
No,
team.
I could easily argue that as well. Like
And
they're
and
definitely
I'll throw
a Warriors team.
I'm gonna throw this out there too, and I think this is an easy agreement from both of you. I think it's not. It's always the Brady Belichick combo. It's never one or the
Oh,
other.
yeah.
It's
I
both
agree
of
with
them. Their plays, the way they run that team. It's been both of them in tandem for 20 years now. This is year 20 for Brady. Like they've been here together. They've been doing this thing, and they're not slowing down. Like Brady,
Unbeaten at Foxborough against Pittsburgh.
yeah, and
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't
That's
expect
another key point right
I
That's
there.
don't
crazy.
expect it to change.
And yeah, when you have a mastermind coach and a just as brilliant quarterback who's as talented as Brady,
Yeah.
it's like KD, Curry, and Clay. You're not gonna beat them.
And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Just like all the things in America, right? The saying goes, the rich get richer. Simple.
It's true.
Patriots are already good. Guess what? They got better. Because nobody want to go to a team that can't win, right? You see it in Miami. We're going to get to that in the Huddle News. In the Huddle News.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody wants to play for a lackluster organization. Nobody wants to go to, you know what I'm saying? There's even a debate. Not to jump off topic, but to make a comparison, rather. There's even a debate about, that Chris Broussard and Jamel Hill is balking at. With black athletes going to HBCUs because of the rich-poor rule. But they all going to the main, universities like Duke and Alabama, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants to play for the lackluster organization. Everybody wants to be a winner. And guess what?
Hey, if you
I
taking
can't blame AB for wanting to be a winner.
if going to collegiate, if you're gonna be offered, you could either go to Bama, or you could go to, let's say, New Mexico State. You're choosing Alabama. You have
No
the
doubt about it.
best shot to get to the pros.
You know what I'm saying? You're not going to be out here with the lasso. Woo, 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 woo. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be out there in Alabama. You're going to play some football for the Crimson Tide.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But that's just how it is, man. That's my take on this AB situation.
And hey, I think we just about milked that cow.
Yeah, we really did. We milked it. I don't know how to do it.
You gotta get a sound effect for that one.
I gotta get a cow sound effect, ladies and gentlemen. But there's a request now while I get this sound effect. 607-753-4819. Once again, 607-753-4819 is the request line.
Listen, call right into the huddle.
If I met another...
You call right into that huddle. I'll put you on. We'll get you on speakerphone. We'll get you in here.
Rob's right next to the phone.
Yeah.
Call in.
I don't know what is going on.
We got some like some
This is
temple over here or something.
There's some karate.
Something's going on.
There we go.
We milked the cow, ladies
We
and
make the
gentlemen.
cow, ladies and gentlemen. Yes,
And now
we
I
did.
think it's time to go to
The next topic.
the Cowboys.
Ah,
Brother.
let's go. That was a nice transition.
I like
Let's
that
get to that.
I like that
I
one.
like that one.
So,
Facts.
Can somebody here in this huddle tell me what happened? What happened in that 425
I'll
game?
tell you what happened.
You want to run it
Somebody
down?
tell me.
I'm gonna tell you what happened.
All
The
right.
Giants suck.
Whoa.
Eli Manning, his time has sailed. Even though
Central New Yorkers.
even though
He's
he
calling out your
relatively,
Giants.
even though Eli Manning relatively had a decent game yesterday, right?
I'm gonna jump right in.
I'd say don't blame Eli in this
306
one.
yards, one
Don't you blame
touchdown.
Eli.
But still, the Giants suck. They have no wide
The
receivers.
defense in the second
No.
half,
Their
Rob.
defense is
Tell me
terrible.
wrong, Rob.
Let me tell you right
And the
now.
Cowboys are
Let
good.
me tell you right now
Simple.
what happened. Eli Manning had an admirable performance.
I'd agree.
Admirable performance.
He had a
I
decent.
think it
Offense was
fine.
not the issue.
Yeah, and anyone on Twitter or any social media out there that complained about Eli Manning and said they should have started Daniel Jones has no idea what the defense looks like. Apparently, they weren't watching the Cowboys throw the football. Dak Prescott.
Forget about it.
Dak Prescott, what I heard, had a perfect passer rating against this defense.
158.3.
158.3.
Yes, this defense is garbage, man. It's garbage. There's
Sanitation day tomorrow.
There's no
Garbage.
defense. There's no line.
You lose Olivier Vernon.
Yeah.
They lost Collins.
Yeah. They have nothing going for them. Their receiving core is battered. Now, Sterling Shepard on concussion protocol. You still don't have Tate for 3 more weeks.
Oh,
like
my
your
Lord.
I don't know who your number 1 receiver is right now. Who is it?
They're in trouble.
I
You've
thought
got nothing at all. Your offense currently is Saquon Barkley and Eli Manning, and there's no receivers. Evan Ingram, I
They can
apologize.
only
I
do so
apologize.
much.
Evan Ingram, he had a decent game.
Evan Ingram had a good game.
11 receptions,
And he's your tight end.
116 yards,
Evan
one
Ingram
touchdown.
is now your number one receiver.
And he's your tight
line him
end,
up,
might
line
I
him up
say
where
again.
OBJ was last year, man. Line him up in OBJ's slot, man. Like, he might as well play wide receiver. Shouldn't even block.
But that's the Giants' fault. The Giants
Hey,
traded
but
away OBJ.
Boys,
They traded away OBJ
the
out the blue.
offense, might I say again, it was 14-7 at the half. The offense was not
What
the problem. The
has-
second half, the defense turned into an
understand.
Entenmann's crumb cake, and they fell apart there, Leel.
I like
I
that one. I
understand.
like that one.
This guy coming with the jokes in the flow today. I like it. But listen, man. Yes, Eli Manning performed relatively well. Yes, we all know he put up like 300 yards, right? 306 yards in particular, right? Yes. But at the same time, we've seen this movie before so many times. So because Eli Manning had a good game, we just gonna make it seem like he's not the issue? Yes, he's part of the issue, as he always been the
Well,
issue.
It's a team.
The brother
It's a
was
collective
overrated.
effort. It's
Well,
a
the
The
collective
brother
effort.
is
I don't-
overrated. I think they need to put
This
Daniel
man hates
Jones.
the Giants right now.
No,
I
no,
think
no.
Daniel Jones.
I like this. I'm gonna let
Leel-
Rob and Leel argue this
I
out.
want Daniel
the Giants
Jones
fan and the Patriots fan.
I want
Leel-
Daniel Jones to be the starter simply because when you think about it, right? Let's take the Browns for example.
all right.
Let's take the Browns for example.
I'm
Right?
gonna have my moment in a minute.
The huddle's hot today, y'all.
Yes, let's take the Browns for example. All right, when this guy, man, oh my God, the quarterback. This guy slipping my mind. The one that Baker Mayfield took, Tyrod Taylor, right? When he was a starting quarterback, right? They started to struggle. When they pulled him out, Baker Mayfield came. Instantly, it gave the team life.
Let me
It gave
stop
the
you
crowd
there,
life.
Leo.
It gave the team life. Everybody wants Daniel Jones to be the
But
starting
is
quarterback.
Jones a Baker? If you're gonna compare that,
No, but
Let
he
me-
can maybe.
and going from
Get the
Tyrod to
Giants.
Baker is different from going from Eli, a veteran whose maybe time is over, to going to a rookie
Yes,
who's
I
yet to prove
understand it's a
himself.
marriage.
I want to
Yes.
tell you something right now. Daniel Jones, we talked about it last week, had an incredible preseason.
Yes, he did.
He
29 up to
he got
34.
He got to play in garbage time, played 5 snaps, fumbled.
And granted,
unfortunately.
played a bad secondary most of the time.
Right, so let me tell you this right now. The Cowboys' defense is very good. They have a good defense. It's not
Yes,
a
they are.
question. So Eli did what he could. He put up 17 points is what the Giants put up, right? They lost 35-17. But for you to be competitive in a football game, it doesn't matter. If you can put up 17 points, you can win a couple games. Like, it's not
That's
great.
what I agree, Rob.
But Saquon didn't have the best game ever.
and
Like,
he still had 120 yards.
Right, like he had a good game. He didn't do anything insane. He
Spectacular.
didn't run. But
Oh yeah, like we saw last
right,
season.
like Saquon can't run for 300 yards every game and just carry your team to victory. So
But to
improvement
me,
in quarterback isn't going to help much because your receiving core is so bad.
See, I
Like,
agree.
don't
I think we're
the
on the
difference-
wrong argument here.
the-
You have
the-
to look at the Giants
like,
defense.
and what I'll step back and say
Look
this.
what
and-
Dak
and
Prescott did.
Can
I
say-
understand
I
the
wanna-
let's let Rob
Giants
finish
defense
his
Let
thought.
was
me-
terrible.
Let me throw one more thing for you, real quick,
One
and then
more thing.
I'll let you have it, Leel.
We gotta let
So
Rob.
let me tell you this right now. You traded away Odell Beckham Jr.
Stupid move.
I agree wholeheartedly. Now, you got back Jabril Peppers, and then who'd you get for your second
first round pick.
You
I
got
think.
your.
I don't
your
think they
pick-
got
you
a first round.
Yeah, it was
Second
yeah.
round, first round?
You got Jabril Peppers first and a third.
Yeah,
Your
first.
first turned into Dexter Lawrence, who is a younger version of Snacks. Damon.
Yeah,
right-
he's only
right-
gonna get better.
Right, so he'll get better. So fine, that's good. Good defensive line, but you just replaced the defensive lineman. Jabril Peppers does not upgrade a defense anywhere close to enough for it to have been
Oh
worth
yeah.
it. It is not worth it. And if you have OBJ at this point, you're sitting here with OBJ like, okay, well, Eli, so if you had the same game today and the same score with OBJ in the lineup, you're like, okay, maybe Jones could do something with OBJ.
Yeah.
But, like, that's the conversation I'm having.
And Jones
My-
did come
this-
into
this
the
is
game,
my point.
but it was also already
This is my
over.
point. You see, I don't think y'all understand. Y'all grasp my point yet. My point is, yes, Eli Manning had a relatively good game. We're not denying that. I'm not denying that. The brother put up 300 yards. In what world do you put up 300 yards and not have a relatively decent game? Not in this world. Maybe on Mars, right? But we in Earth, okay? We in the NFL speaking here. Yes, he had a relatively good game. Yes, the defense was decimated. Dak Prescott looked like Tom Brady. 405 yards, right? A perfect passer rating. 25-32.
4 TDs.
4 touchdowns. Yes, we know that. But there's no wide receivers as well.
Which
we know
can
that.
I add really quickly?
So you're gonna leave Eli Manning, a guy who is older, to be on a team that is really not a team. Why have him out there? Why not put the young fella out there with the young team, with the young nucleus? It's just having an old guy train little babies.
But this is the thing that I would counter that with. Eli still had, like we've been saying, still had
They're not
300
going to win
yards.
any games regardless.
But here's the thing: if they put in Jones, he needs a team built around him as well. Look at Baker. They built a team around Baker towards the end of that season with the Browns. Any other quarterback, but before Baker, any other season was terrible with the Browns because that's what they do. They draft a quarterback first round, throw him in an offense that has nothing anyway to begin with, and the guy wasn't even able to develop.
So
you're basically wasting their talent
exactly.
by putting them in a terrible team.
Well, Eli Manning is not going to make them better. Eli Manning is never the
not
quarterback.
Gonna get better
anyway.
He was never
until they rebuild.
Eli Manning. See, this is where we about to differ. Eli Manning was never the quarterback to make a team better. When Eli Manning won those 2 rings, it's because he had weapons. He had a good defense. He don't have a good defense. So why is Eli Manning there? Daniel Jones can run. He's mobile.
Right.
Eli Manning is not mobile, so he's not going to make the team better. With no wide receivers, you need to be mobile.
On the same point, Daniel Jones not going to make the team better either. Like Daniel Jones in a year or two will be better than Eli Manning is this year. That's not a question.
The Giants still going to suck.
You're right.
But at least get the young fella
The
out there
Giants
soon.
don't have weapons for Jones anymore besides Ingram and Barkley. And to be fair, Ingram is arguably a top 10 tight end, and Barkley is the best running back in football.
Correct.
So those 2 statements are good, right? So Ingram could even be a top 5 tight end if he's not hurt. So we haven't seen him have a full season. If he has a full season, we'll see what happens. But the lack of other weapons opens those 2 up, right? But you don't have receivers. Your offensive line is halfway decent now. It's not as god awful as it was last year.
I seen rookies
it's
play
a little better. It's a little better
around that same type of team that Eli Manning is dealing with. I seen rookies play with it. Look at Josh Allen. I mean, he was put in a debacle, all right, with an offensive line that couldn't block me. All right,
but they still were not that.
But they
good.
They ended up building around him, saw his potential. To me, Eli Manning is really just there to hand over the keys to Daniel Jones. The question is, when is he going to hand over the keys? Eli Manning has never been the quarterback to elevate his team. Never. He had a team around him.
I'll tell you what, Eli Manning can run a football team, and his prime. He was able to run teams. He's able to run offense. He's a high football IQ. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that.
He's an intelligent player.
You can't deny that he
has a big experience.
He's not a great football player.
Even though he's not
a great football player.
He's not.
You don't think so?
Eli Manning is not a good football player.
I tell you this.
I'm
not a great football player. Good football player.
I'm talking about historically.
I'll tell you this. If you have 2 rings against the Patriots, you're a great football player. Your career has been great.
Listen, those years, he started off 0-3. He started 0-3. Interception rate was totally high. All right, it was always there. It was guys that made helmet catches, that made Friday Night Lights movie type of catches. You know what I'm saying? Mario Manning had.
Still, to get to those,
the defense got to Brady.
Game, though, they still stayed in the game.
How do you defeat Brady?
If Eli
by getting to Brady. Get him out his sore spot where he can't sit there in the pocket. Get him out the pocket. Those defenses troubled Brady, and that was the only reason why the Giants.
I do agree.
But let me throw this at you though.
Defense won them those Super Bowls, and right now they don't have a defense, so it doesn't matter what happens on offense. I got to be completely honest with you; it does not matter. Like they're 2 great drafts away from being a contender. I don't think they win anywhere close. I think they win max 5-6 games, like I said last week.
This season?
Man. Yeah, I think they've won 5 or 6 max
I don't
this
even
season.
know about that. Probably like 4 and 10.
They probably win 3. They might be 4-12. They might be 3-13. I wouldn't be surprised.
It's a rebuild scenario for Big Blue, without a doubt. I'm not even a Giants fan, and I'm still talking like I want the Giants to be good again. It's a rebuild period, so for anyone to rag on the team, you reserve the right, yes, because they're bad. But you have to understand, they're at a complete rebuild. That move,
so if you're rebuilding
by Gettleman last season was a complete rebuild move.
My thing is, if you're rebuilding, why not rebuild everything? You got Pat Sherman there. That was the start of the rebuild. When you moved on from Tom Coughlin, you got rid of your best player in OBJ. Clearly, your best player along with Saquon Barkley.
I know what you're gonna say.
All right, so
they're
why
gonna do
not?
it next season. I'm telling you now. They're probably
you know what I'm saying? Like, just do the whole full rebuild. Basically,
they probably
Eli Manning's just gonna be looking there, taking all them hits. Taking all them hits because his offensive line can't block nobody. Yes, it improved, but he's going to be taking hits. He's basically going to be throwing to nobody. It's going to make his Hall of Fame status look even worse because he's not going to have nobody to throw the ball to. And he's just going to be sitting there. He's going to get chastised. Guys are going to be like, take this bum out of here. And then Daniel Jones, when he decides to come in and he make a couple plays and everybody's on the Daniel Jones train, then it's just going to make Eli Manning look even more. And because they think they're trying to save his legacy by keeping him there, because that's what Giants want to do. They like, oh, this brother won me 2 rings, so let's not pull the plug. Let's save his legacy. No, they are hurting his legacy by putting him with that team around.
I think
around him.
Gettleman's reason for doing that, keeping Eli in, is legit. Not to preserve the fact that maybe he can win games, maybe he'll end on a bang. I think it's just the fact that he wants the rookie to sit a few games, watch Eli, who's done it for years. Seasons upon seasons, learn as much as he can from the IQ of Eli.
I can see that.
And
for like
develop
2,
him
3
like
games.
that.
For like 3-4 games.
Exactly.
But after week 4,
I agree.
If they go on,
they're not going to rock with Eli 16 games. Mark my words. They're not going to rock with him every single game of this season. I think it's just a learning standpoint.
All right, but it's going to be a point in time when they like 0-4, and it's going to be like, all right, what are you rating for? You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. But yeah, like I said, I never said Eli Manning had a bad game. He had a relatively good game. I just feel like, this team is not going nowhere.
See, but that's why we're in the
He's
huddle.
He's older.
Man. That's why we're in the huddle.
Why,
607
753-4819. Once again, 607 753-4819. Should the Giants move on from Eli? Ladies and gentlemen, Central New Yorkers, let us know.
We need to know. Please call in. It's approximately 8:38 p.m. Call in.
I'm going to throw it in right now. I would say by the end of this season, Eli should be gone from the Giants. Now, this season doesn't matter for the Giants. It's just like, where are they going to pick in the draft?
Yeah, basically.
They should not even be thinking about the playoffs.
And it's only week 2 coming
It's
up.
upsetting that I'm saying that as a Giants fan, but I'm trying to be as realistic as possible. The good news for New Yorkers, New Yorkers that are Giants fans, I'll throw it out there. The good news is that the Yankees are great. That's all I can say.
Amen to that.
And the Mets have a slight shot of making the playoffs.
Mets are not making the playoffs.
A wild card.
Spoiler alert, Mets not making the playoffs. You heard it here first.
I mean, I don't think so either. That's why I say shot. I'm trying to give y'all fake hope, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to, sometimes you just have, you like, dang. Like, for example, a quiz, right? I got a quiz tomorrow. I ain't studied for that. But, I believe some part of me going to pass that exam knowing damn well you ain't going to pass that exam.
You got to have a little hope.
You got to have a little hope,
I respect your optimism.
Obama's campaign was built on hope.
Yeah,
ladies and gents.
I hear you. I hear you.
607.
I think it's time.
It's time to go on commercial break.
We cool down the fire a little bit.
We got to go on
bring it
commercial
back,
break.
But
we're going to come back and we're going to talk about the Jets and the Bills on the wrap up the first half and outstanding performances across the NFL. Ladies and gentlemen, you're in the huddle.
We will be back. Ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. The huddle is now back. The
Yes,
real
sir.
Lil Kenny C and Robert.
Hey, listen up, man. Just letting you know, you call in 607-753-4819. Again, that's 607-753-4819. Get in here, get in the huddle, call in. I'll be answering your call, put you right on speaker. We'll get your opinions in here, man. Just call in if you got
Let's
anything
go,
to say.
Central New York. Let's go. Stop being mischievous and robbing people and doing all those things that's going on, because I'm one of them dudes. They call me the real Leel for a reason. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sugarcoating anything. Y'all being bad out here. All right, I'm hearing things. We had a meeting.
Calling out some stuff going on.
Dr. K almost blew out our ear to talk about situation that's going on within the Cortland town. All right, be good. Listen to the sports. Watch the sports. Listen to In the Huddle, and just behave. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we back on this show.
We back in. What happened to Gang Green on Sunday against most of Central New York's Buffalo Bills?
Whoa, let me tell you this, man. You up 16-0.
Mm-hmm. Tell them.
You've gotten 4 turnovers. You only scored 16 points with 4 turnovers. Wait a minute. You're telling me you added Le'Veon Bell, one of the best running backs in the NFL, top 5, I would say. And he took a year off. I still think he's top 5.
Me too.
Let me throw this out there. You tell me you're only going to score 16, and you're going to give Josh Allen and the projected to win like 5-game Bills to come back and score 17 unanswered points and steal a win from you? You're just gonna let that happen? How you gonna let that happen? So somebody tell me how they let this happen.
And
Well, listen,
Rob,
Kenny C.
just right here, whether you're a Jets fan or not and you're listening, that was not you couldn't have gotten more New York Jets.
I'll tell you
what
right
happened
now.
Sunday.
I'm gonna sum it up right now. It's not what you want.
That's just the New York Jets being the New York Jets. Just when you think the season's off to a bang, damn, we're gonna stomp out our rival easily. We're gonna, be tied for the Patriots for first place. The Jets somehow find a way to make you get that Kleenex box out.
They thought they was gonna get an easy tie in week 1. The closest they gonna be from winning that division. But listen, we gotta get credit to the Bills for fighting hard. I know the Jets. Obviously, they let that lead go, and you can't let the league like that go. But at the end of the day, the Bills played hard. Their defense looked good. Their defense, got in there, did what they had to do. And, you got to give credit where credit is due, should I say. You know what I'm saying?
And Josh Allen did his thing at the end of that game.
Did his thing at the end of that game.
3 minutes left, throws that touchdown pass.
254 yards, 1 touchdown, had the 2 interceptions in the beginning.
Which
but he rebounded from it.
In the end.
Yeah,
I'll tell you this. The Bills, and we are in Central New York station, so this might not be the most well received comment, but they're not a good football team. They're
Tell them.
I know they want to believe, and I respect.
Somebody call in.
I respect
Somebody
the
call
Bills
in now.
Mafia and how crazy they get and how much they support their team, but I just can't be with it, man. Their defense is pretty good. I'll give them that. They have a pretty good defense, but
4
man,
sacks,
but
pretty good.
like give your guys a chance. Like what I'm saying is like when you flip it back, the Bills won this game, good stuff, but you had 4 turnovers on offense, which is terrible. You can never have that. Like they should not have won the game. Generally speaking, the Bills should not have won the game. The Jets are a better team.
Field goal kicks missed.
I agree.
Extra points missed.
Yeah, the Jets just needed to execute better, right? They didn't execute. They didn't have what they needed to win this game. And they should have won the game. You forced 4 turnovers. You should score upwards of 20 points. Now, the reason shout out to the Bills defense, man, for holding them to 16, because there's some teams that are going to come to town in Buffalo and score 40 points. It's going to happen. You'll see it sometime this season, but the Bills defense held up today. They weren't tired. They're fresh out of the gate, ready to go after preseason, and they shut them down, really. And they gave their offense a chance to step up and recover from that terrible start to the game.
Exactly. Go ahead.
Real quick, the one positive that I would take away from this game as a Jets fan is that it's only week 1.
And basically,
That's all you can really say, because, to go out there and dominate for the first half and make people's eyes turn, heads turn, eyes glued to the screen. Wow, the Jets are doing great so far. And then to just fall apart in the second half, I mean, there's got to be more work there. And
I'll tell you what.
They got to up the defense somehow.
I'll tell you this too. A lot of people have projected the Jets to go 9-7, and I think that's a fair projection.
That's a wild card squad.
I think they're going to be a decent team, but I'll tell you this: that's a loss week 1 to a team that you should beat. And second
more like
thing
7-9 to me.
Right,
let me
7-9.
Let me tell you the schedule.
And no, but there's one game on their schedule that I need to tell you about right now.
Let's hear it.
They play 2 games against the New England Patriots.
Oh boy.
One of them is in Foxborough.
And one of them is going to be a loss.
The
Patriots
do not lose in home, and they don't.
Statistically, they really don't.
They go crazy at home. They are literally unstoppable at home. So you can't possibly tell me that the Jets are going to come to New England and beat the Patriots. So that's another loss right there. So we're talking 2 losses already week 1. We generally have 2 losses, and they probably can't beat the Patriots at home anyway.
And
so
then,
that's almost 3 losses chalked up right
They
there.
got a game
then,
next
Rob,
week that's not easy.
Monday night
against the Browns. Now I know the Browns
dog
had a
pound's not gonna come
upsetting
lightly.
game
I'll tell
at
you-
home,
I'll tell you
but
this.
the Browns is going to want to rebound.
Browns might be an easier matchup than you think, man. Like they looked pretty terrible
They did.
against
They
the,
did.
they looked lackluster at
I
best
mean,
against
it doesn't-
the Titans.
all
it
the
doesn't
hype
help.
got to Baker's head. I
It
feel
doesn't
like
help exactly. I
his
totally
start.
agree. Baker Mayfield is cocky. He's a cocky dude, and I kept
You
telling
spoke
people.
too much, Baker.
I told people, listen. Yes, I know Baker's a great quarterback. You know, 3,000. You just don't throw 3,000, almost 4,000 yards in your rookie year and not be great. You're a great talent. But at the end of the day, the cockiness, the chugging beers at a baseball game, now you're the Malcolm X of the league.
Talking about Daniel
Jones, just being in everybody's business and not just playing football. And then you got daggone OBJ coming to the game wearing a watch, a $30,000 watch on the football field. It was a joke all along. It was a joke. I don't know what kind of game they thought they was going to win when your best wide receiver is wearing a watch.
Leel, they came out here like they were the 80s 49ers. They thought they were like the best thing around. You guys had, 6 solid games at the end of that season? Yes, you made good free agency moves. Your GM made moves. Your team looked developed. Until you prove that on the field, I agree, Lil. Don't come in there all Flash Gordon thinking you can act all crazy like that. You have to prove yourself first in the league as a team.
And they got punched in the mouth by a very good Titans team. And I keep telling people, yes, the Titans is not the top tier team, but they are always a team. The Titans are always a team that can upset you at any given moment. They went on the road against the Cowboys, punched them in the mouth.
I'm agree with you there.
9-7 last 2 years.
I'm gonna tell you this.
They're a solid team.
I slept on the Titans when I looked at my preseason predictions, playoff predictions. I slept on the Titans, man. I'm not gonna front.
Remember the Titans.
Now,
like the movie.
They're against who they against? The Jaguars, the Texans, and the Colts. The Colts are not as fearsome as a team as they were last year, especially without luck, right? Mm-hmm. So now you look at that division. You got Texans and you've got Jaguars. The Jaguars got stomped by the Chiefs, which we'll get to in a few minutes. But anyway,
and the Titans were able to beat them.
Right. So the Jaguars are trying to rebound from a terrible season last year.
I mean, Nick Foles,
and
again, that
Nick
later.
Foles is down.
That's big news.
He's down and out.
Gents. Foles is gone.
He's gonna be done for the.
And incorporating the Browns into this, they got that Monday night game in New Jersey, in MetLife. But the big thing for the Jets that I just saw, C.J. Mosley, who balled out throughout the game for the New York Jets, got that pick six to start it off right, is actually got hurt in that game. Quinnen Williams, their new first-round rookie, he also got hurt, and apparently they both will not practice Wednesday, and it's unclear if they will play against the Browns. That's 2 huge losses because they spent all that money to get Mosley and add him to that defense, and obviously they spent their first-round pick on Williams, who's supposed to be a beast. So without 2 key defensive players, and then the way your defense played in the second half against the Bills, Jets fans,
I mean, we gotta show
you're
Bills.
in danger.
Since we're in Central New Yorkers, we gotta talk about the Bills a little bit to end the first half. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
good for the
Josh
Bills.
Allen, they have toys at the wide receiver position. They do. I like Cole Beasley. He had 5 receptions, 40 yards. That's a reliable target for Josh Allen. And then you got John Brown, 7 receptions, 123 yards, 1 touchdown.
You got a couple vets in there at the receiver position, and to win a game where you had 4 turnovers on offense, like you don't deserve to win that game. Like on paper, if you said, "Oh, the Bills had 4 turnovers this weekend," you'd be like, "Oh, how much did they lose?"
And that was also Allen's fault too.
Yeah, and it's Allen's fault. And you would
2
have
fumbles,
asked,
2 picks.
Yeah, you would have asked how much did they lose by if I just told you that the Bills gave up 4 turnovers, right?
I agree.
You're like, "Oh, did the Jets blow them out? Was it like 3 touchdowns?" No.
But
so the Jets played poorly, but the Bills able to win a game. They basically able to steal the win, which is huge.
And I'm surprised none of y'all brought up
things.
this field goal kicker that was missing field goals because that's actually a key. That adds to the points.
I was going to say that.
You know what I'm saying?
What's his name? I don't even know this guy's name.
All right, I don't think we need to know his name because I don't even think he's going to be back. All right, that's
Care
points on the board.
Care Vedvik. He's gone.
The Bills. Let's do simple mathematics here. All right, you don't gotta be a
Jets are
mathematician.
probably dropping him.
You don't gotta be a math. How many field goals he missed?
He went.
I know he missed an extra point.
Where is it?
Probably missed.
But
1 second.
but real quickly.
0 for 1, 0 for 1.
All right.
So he missed the field
You
goal.
missed the field goal,
an
extra point. All right, let's do
4 points,
math.
4 points left on the
We gonna take it. We in the huddle. We on. This is college radio. We taking it to math class, right? The Jets won.
about
The
this
Jets lost 17-16, right? Simple mathematics. You missed the extra point. 17-17, guaranteed overtime. You missed the field goal, right? That's 3 points.
That's the win.
3 plus 1 is 4, right? 3 plus 1 is 4. 16 plus 4 is 20. 20 to 17, the Jets should have won that game. That's it.
And
Simple mathematics.
you know what that
Simple
adds? That adds an
mathematics.
L in the win-loss column.
arithmetic,
Exactly.
if you will.
See, this dude, Kenny, I don't know what this dude is on, but he's flowing. He's flowing like a river.
I'm
He-
telling you.
You
man.
know how we do in the huddle, Lil.
That's how we do. We flow.
I don't.
It's
The
smooth.
Bills probably not a playoff team out here, and again, it was a gift to win this weekend. So I mean, somehow, some way, somehow, these Bills come out of nowhere and they go start up 4-0 and somehow able to hang on and be 9-7 or something like that. But it's possible. Like I don't expect them to win more than 9 games in any scenario. Like in any universe, I don't think they win more than 8 games really. But you know, anything's possible now. You got a gift. Josh Allen's got to play better. Probably should run more, honestly. Like, they telling Lamar Jackson to run. They should be telling Josh Allen to run. Like, honestly. Like,
Remember his
apparently
athleticism.
Man's
He's
having some
very athletic.
struggles.
Yeah. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen.
Real quick. Game alert. Monday Night Football,
Okay.
the Texans are up 14-10
I told people.
over the Saints
What I told y'all.
in the third quarter.
I mean, the game is not over yet, clearly. But I told y'all, watch out for the Texans. There's going to be a shootout. And guess what? We in for one.
And we're missing it right now, unfortunately.
Unfortunately. But you know what? We here for Central New Yorkers. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
yeah. We're
We
here
gotta
for
have-
you
we gotta have our
guys.
programming on, you know, every
Yes.
Monday, and then my show will be on tomorrow. Like, we gotta have this programming on.
Yeah,
here
we
for you
gotta-
guys.
gotta keep it
Everybody-
flowing.
We gotta have it.
We got to be in the huddle. It flow.
100%.
Everything flows when you're in the huddle, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back in the next couple of minutes for hour number 2. So much more to get into that we didn't get to cover.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Okay.
In the huddle, y'all.
I'll kill these 3 things. And
Crank it up.
Musical stylings
Perfect.
I can't have that in the red.
Facts.
Too long.
That joint was zooming. Are you ready?
Yep.
Yo.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now back in the huddle. WSUC 90.5 FM, The Dragon. I am Kenny C.
And I am the real Leel.
And it's me, Rob, back here. You know, we out here. We ready to get into some in the huddle news.
Yes, sir.
So tell us what we got, Rob.
I'm gonna start us right off. The first thing is Kyler Murray, after his first NFL game, said he tweets out. It said, "Special day. Started off slow, but part of the way we fought as a team. Learn and grow. Bird gang. Hashtag Bird gang." So listen, I'll tell you what, man. Didn't have the greatest showing as a rookie, man, but you know, he got out there and he fought. He didn't lose. He didn't win, but you know, he had himself an all right game and was able to drive down the field in overtime. So I'd say a pretty decent day from Murray. So what do you guys got to say?
Hey,
I got, real quickly
Go ahead,
here,
Lil.
you know how I am, man. Sometimes, man, you have a dream. Like, I remember one time I had a dream, right? I'm not talking about Martin Luther King. I had a dream. And in that dream, right, there was a zombie apocalypse. And in that zombie apocalypse, right, I was one of the last people on Earth left. Sorry, Kenny C. Sorry, Rob. But I was one of the last people left in the world. And there was these flooded zombies, right? And they came my way, right? They shot at me. And I knew at that point I was going to die. But I woke up, which means I didn't die. But I know I didn't survive. Kyler Murray, he didn't lose, but he didn't win. All right? Simple as that. He struggled early, through 3 quarters. Looked like, oh my gosh, was this the number 1 pick? And then he got in, he settled in, brought the team back from trailing a lot of points to tie it up and bring it to overtime where he completed a nice deep ball to Larry Fitzgerald, Mr. Reliable, Larry Fitzgerald, right on the seam. I mean,
hey,
he showed up in the second half.
you can't say, you can't say that this man did not finish out with an overall good game. They didn't win. they got the tie, and definitely set him up for a field goal, which was much needed, like you said, with Larry Fitz getting incorporated in there. 308 yards and 2 TDs, a pair of TDs, is not too bad of a day overall. But I'm looking forward to Murray and what he could do in the future for this team.
Yeah, you're getting thrown right into the fire, starting right out of college is something pretty impressive. So
Especially for the Cardinals.
Yeah,
it's something to build on.
He will definitely grow. So.
All right, number 2 in the Huddle news, our second in the Huddle news. Tom Brady told Antonio Brown to come and live with him until he gets settled down with him and his family, basically. So what's that show me? Is that Tom Brady wants to form that chemistry early. Obviously, as we talked about to start the show, Antonio Brown is not the most friendly of characters. He's not the most team-oriented of characters, and he may give New England hell here and there. However, Tom Brady opening up his mansion, which I wish I could spend a night, Not.
I was gonna say, I'll spend the night with Brady.
I'll spend the night with Brady, Mr. Cool, Calm, and Collected Brady. I would too. So Antonio Brown, get that relationship flowing. You see Tom Brady, with Josh Gordon, being there for Josh Gordon. His locker room was right across from Josh Gordon. So Tom Brady, as he's gotten older, has put on the how can I say it? He's been the advisor, the mentor. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, hey, tell your future number 1 wide receiver to come stay with you for a few nights. But in my opinion, AB's got all the money in the world. Great gesture by Brady, but hey,
you know what?
AB's got money.
I'll say this, man. I know he's got money, but sometimes it takes a couple weeks to get moved and get settled up. People help him out with that, but it's a nice gesture. It helps them get that kind of that team bonding a little bit, and I think
100%.
I think it helps, and especially with somebody who's as dramatic as AB. I think it's smart for Brady to kind of get to know him a little bit, kind of get that. See what he's really about. You know what I'm saying? So
see what the life of Brady is like.
See if they can't get that camaraderie before any drama builds off the field. You know what I'm saying? So you want to get that good relationship right away, especially with your new number 1. So that's all I got to say.
Number 3.
And number 3 up in here, OBJ, Odell watch wearing Beckham Jr.
This guy
violated the league rule with that watch that he played with
$350K
in that game. $350 watch. OBJ, what are you doing, my man? From hitting your head on a field goal post thing to flexing with a watch before you even played your first game with the Browns. Come on now, man.
I mean, I don't want to make this into a big deal, but at the same time it is. Yes, I know it's a watch, but come on, man. Play some football, man. What you need the bling, bling, bling for? You know what I'm saying? I don't understand it. Like I said, there's a bunch of characters on that team. There's a bunch of divas on that team. And I'm pretty sure that we need to start adding Baker Mayfield to that diva category. That's another topic for another day. But a lot of people like to come at Brown deservingly come at Brown. Deservingly to the utmost deserving of all time. And OBJ. But we need to add Baker Mayfield to that discussion at times because he is a diva, and I believe that they have a collaboration of divas on that team. So it showed when they lost that game, when they lost to the Titans, a team that they should have never lost to, a team where Baker Mayfield threw 3 interceptions. Didn't look like Baker Mayfield. He looked like Baker need to go home field, and that's just basically what I gotta say.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's dumb. It's just stupid. I don't know what to say. Why would you even do that? Why are you wearing a $350,000 watch during a football game? Isn't that the best way to break something like that? I don't understand. What is your what's the logic there? What is he? I don't know what that.
He just
OBJ.
Trying to be flashy.
OBJ is nowhere close to the diva level as AB is, but bro, just don't wear the watch, man. It's not rocket science, my guy.
I agree.
At number 4.
We have
what we got?
Khabib defeated Dustin Poirier, I do not know how to say his name, via submission in the 3rd round with just 2 minutes and 6 seconds in. Honestly, the thing that I can take away from this game, or from this match, is the fact that going in, I was reading articles about it, Khabib was the better ground fighter with submissions and such. Poirier was better stand-up compared to Khabib. Only thing I could say is Khabib ended up getting him down to the ground and doing what he does best, and that's why he came away with relatively quick defeat over Poirier.
Khabib, I believe, will achieve what he got to do in times of greed, because he achieved what he achieved. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I was watching the Serena Williams tennis match. I didn't, it was a choice, because this came on around the same time as the U.S. Open final.
3 or 4.
And I had to choose. Yeah,
Something
exactly.
Like
So
I didn't even know the match happened, honestly.
I had to choose, and then
it.
I got blinded by the AB situation around 4 o'clock. That took my mind off of UFC, so I don't really got that much thoughts on it. But I would say Khabib was one of the best UFC fighters in the world, and I'm still waiting for that Conor McGregor part 2.
And he retained the lightweight belt. Rob, anything on the fight?
No, man, I'm not big into the fights, man. But
Hey, we got it out there.
Let you
Got it out there.
Number 5 on the news.
listen, I'm gonna throw it out there. Seahawks inquired about AB before he signed with the Patriots. Now, for me, it's not surprising. Right now, you got Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf, right?
Who had a good game.
That's your 1-2 really, and that's really not great. Like Lockett's good. He breaks away down the field plenty of times.
He scores more touchdowns than he do catches, if that make any sense.
Right. I agree with you on that. It's just AB helps the Seahawks more than he helps the Patriots, but I think AB had his mind made up, and that's all I really got to say. I think he had his heart set on the Pats, and I think he was going there no matter what happened.
I think that was his scheme all along.
I mean, DK Metcalf, I think he did very well for his rookie game. 4 receptions, 89 yards. Had a deep ball from Russell Wilson where, Russell Wilson, obviously, he drops his deep balls on a bucket, literally, right in the receiver's arm. I mean, they have Tyler Lockett, they have DJ Mack. It would have been good feeling if they had Antonio Brown to help Russell Wilson, give him another weapon at his disposal. But it didn't happen, It is what it is. Like I said, like both of y'all said, we know where he wanted to go and we know where he was going, and guess what? He went there. Simple as that. But on the other side of that game, Andy Dalton, real quickly, 418 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a loss.
Number 1 quarterback stat-wise this week.
Mm-hmm.
The Redheads showed out, and they lost by a narrow margin. So I'm looking to see what the Bengals do in the future.
And the final in the Huddle news for today, multiple Dolphins players reportedly contacted agents about possibly getting a trade out of Miami.
And why did they do that, Leel? What was the reason for that?
These people want out of Miami because Miami suck and they're tanking. They're like, get me out of here. All right, get me out of here. I mean, that's basically what it is. I don't blame them. Miami might be going 0-16 or 1-5, whatever. They're gonna lose a lot of games this year. Point blank, period.
If some birds drop 59 points on my head, I want to get out too.
We gotta address the elephant in the room.
I mean, I'm gonna tell you what, man. They just got. They got absolutely blasted this weekend. Like it was ugly. Ugly game from Miami. Like RG3, whatever.
Robert Griffin III.
Yeah, Robert Griffin III comes in.
I thought you were about to say
throws
RPG.
A touchdown.
They got blasted like an RPG.
Yeah.
Fitzpatrick
RG3 just
went down.
Just absolutely took care of business. Like the fact that he comes in and scores a touchdown after Lamar Jackson put a clinic on you, it's just insult to injury at that point. Like it's
like overkill.
It was
Pretty
definitely overkill. Is just kind of disgusting to watch. So
yeah, I mean, I would want out of there too. I'm not gonna blame none of these Dolphin players who won out. I would want out too. And I know it's nice, Miami, that area. But hey, if you love football, you may want to leave as well.
And
but
let's jump right into
it.
The big topic after halftime. Is what, Leel?
Who had the better performance? Matter of fact, who was the best tandem in week 1? Was it Deshaun Jackson, was it Pat Mahomes and Sammy Watkins, or was it, I mean, you do got to do Deshaun. Matter of fact, it's a 3-team race.
Wentz and D-Jax.
Wentz and D-Jax, Sammy Watkins and Pat Mahomes, or Lamar Jackson and the rookie out of Oklahoma, Marquise Brown.
Hollywood Brown.
Hollywood.
I'm gonna start you off right here. I'm gonna start you off right here. My man, Pat Mahomes comes in and has himself a Pat Mahomes quality game. Throws 3 touchdowns. When he throws 373 yardage, something like that. Almost hits 400 yards. Had a heck of a game, right? But he's not even the story. Sammy Watkins last season, he had some struggles injury-wise. He's having a tough time, but man comes in and says, all right, you know what? I'm here. Tyreek's out. You know what? I'm in. He comes in 198 receiving
Basically
yards.
200.
Just had that magnetic connection with Mahomes all day long. And had that connection all day long. Gets 3 receiving touchdowns. Just tearing it up. So for me, it's Mahomes to Watkins, which is something that people weren't even watching for last year, man. They were watching for Hill Mahomes. Now you've got Watkins stepping in and said, nah, it's my turn now.
I like Sammy Watkins. I do believe that, he basically had one of those you forgot about me moment. But at the same time, my brother, you're wrong, man. I can't give that one to you. I'm going to go with Mr. Lamar Jackson, ladies and Mr. Lamar Jackson. I mean, let's read this brother's stats. 10 of 11, 210 yards, 4 touchdowns, 158 passer rating. Ladies and gentlemen, those for the people that said the brother couldn't play quarterback. This is a guy that couldn't play the quarterback position. This was a so-called running back at the quarter. Mr. Barry Sanders dropping back in the backfield, throwing passes, ladies and gentlemen. This brother put up 210 yards, 4 touchdowns, all right? 10 of 11. I mean, throwing dimes. It's not like the brother, the passes was robbed. No, the ball was accurate. He threw a couple balls to Marquise Brown. This guy's a rookie from Oklahoma. His first catch was a touchdown, ladies and gentlemen. His first catch. Welcome to the NFL, my brother. Take a bow. Rihanna.
I'll say this too. His second catch also a touchdown. So
exactly.
Very impressive.
First 2 catches.
Whoa,
147 receiving yards. 2 touchdowns.
Whoa, indeed.
Ladies and gentlemen, Leel and Rob, you guys went with those duos. But the duo that I'm looking at here,
what you looking at,
comes from Philadelphia. A team where they changed up the quarterback scenario, shipped off Foles to Jacksonville, and in comes Wentz yet again. Battled injuries for most of his career, finally gets to start the season off right. This is what I'm looking at. Carson Wentz to his favorite guy, former Eagle but now back with the Eagles, Deshaun Jackson, the man who performed the miracle in the Meadowlands against the New York Giants, crushed Giants fans. And both of these players were doubted by many people. Everyone knew Wentz's talent, so I'm not going to say that people thought he was a bad quarterback, but people questioned whether he could stay on the field and stay healthy. And he proved the doubters wrong with the fact that many people maybe thought he'll never be the same, and Wentz proved that wrong. 28 for 39, 313 yards, 3 touchdowns with 0 mistakes by the young fella. Came back from down a 17-point deficit against the Redskins. And he found his favorite target to do so, Deshaun Jackson, 154 yards on just 8 catches and 2 touchdowns. This duo may be one of the scariest duos in the NFC. And what I'm looking at is that the Redskins choked, and these 2 guys led the offense and balled out. So we each had our respective duos.
I mean, when you think about it,
I'm going to run back in there real quick. I'm going to tell you what. Lamar Jackson, props to him for throwing the ball. You know what I'm saying?
I loved his performance because, don't get me wrong.
The best performance,
by the
way.
He struggled throwing the ball end of last year, you know what I'm saying? But here's what I'm about to say. He played against the Dolphins. The Dolphins
you want to throw that point at
are
me.
arguably,
That's true.
Arguably the worst team in the NFL.
Okay.
So the Jaguars defense features 2 corners named, you might know him, A.J. Boye and, why can't I think of his name?
Isn't it, what's his name?
I don't know why.
Anyway.
Why are we all blanking out over here?
We all blanking out.
These
but
things.
you know what, ladies and gentlemen? At the same time, right? Yes, I know it's the Dolphins, right? And yes, they are the worst team in the NFL.
Oh.
But at the same time, when the norm is that you can't play quarterback, and it's week 1, not week 2, not week 3, LeBron James and D-Wade, not 4, not 5, not 6, it's week 1. The pressure is on you. All eyes is on you.
Oh,
all right? So to come out and play and perform to the way how he did, only having 1 incompletion, to look so calm, cool, and collective in the pocket as what he did. I mean, at the same time, my people, man, you can't fool with this guy. I mean, these 2 tandems right here. Marquise Brown is a fast wide receiver. All right, that's why they call him Hollywood.
At that.
And a rookie. Lamar Jackson is one of the fastest players, if not the fastest player in the NFL. outside of Tyreek Hill, but they be talking about quarterback, the fastest quarterback. So you got two of the
Kyler
fastest
Murray's
players,
pretty quick.
with two of one of the fastest players in the league together. That's a tandem right there, my brother. That's a tandem.
So, I'm saying I remember the name now. AJ Boye and Jalen Ramsey, of course. So I don't know. I don't know why I blinked on his name for so long.
Jalen Ramsey's on a
The
Jaguars.
right? So we talking about the matchup.
Oh,
AJ
okay.
Boye-
That's
so
why I
talk-
didn't come. I
talk-
thought you talking about the Dolphins. I'm like, ain't
talk
nobody
about
know those
talk
players.
about-
Ain't
talk
nobody
about-
know those players in the
Talk
Dolphins.
about my matchup here. Watkins had 198 yards against two of the top corners in the league. AJ Boye and Jalen Ramsey are no joke. Jalen Ramsey, in particular, arguably the best corner in the
Shutdown
league.
corner.
Shutdown
Okay.
corner.
And he got embarrassed.
I got a
He got
rebuttal.
embarrassed by Sammy Watkins, 189 yards worth of embarrassment from
Okay.
him. So that's all I gotta say, man. Like, the Jaguars tougher defense than the Dolphins. Like, it's not even that close. Like, there's not really an argument there.
But at the same time, right?
Bringing up some past over here.
You're bringing it right here. At the same time, ladies and gentlemen, how dysfunctional was that Jaguars defense in that game? There was fights. There was this dude, what was it, Miles Jack or whatever, who had to get 5 guys to take him out the stadium. That defense was a wreck yesterday, simply because they couldn't keep their composure, had stupid behind penalties. So guess what? When your defense is dysfunctional, guess what? You become dysfunctional. Why? Because the saying goes, you all a product of your environment, ladies and gentlemen. Crickets.
I mean, honestly, I like all these performances. You cannot go wrong with any of them.
Don't try to team up with the winning team
You
now,
can't.
Kenny
I'm just
C.
saying.
Don't try to join with the winning
Hear
team
me out,
now.
hear me out. I'm saying all these performances were great, but the fact that Wentz
They were.
the fact that Wentz and D-Jax were able to come back down 17 and rally to win the game when they were both doubted, because, quite frankly, both of these men have suffered injuries in their past and were never expected to ball out in the first game like this. D-Jax was not putting up these numbers in Washington. And even though it's the first week, I like this duo a lot for the NFC. And I think that cornerbacks got a plan for this.
I mean, D-Jax, which is, this is the first person I ever heard give him that nickname, but I dig it. D-Jax, he has speed, obviously. He's fast. He was blowing by these defenders. And guess what? Carson Wentz has an arm. That's going to be a tandem to be reckoned with.
And he embarrassed Josh Norman, who we all know ran his mouth against OBJ.
Hello, he
Shut him
embarrassed.
down.
He did embarrass Josh Norman. He definitely did. But to be a rookie and to have that performance is why I went with Marquise Brown and Lamar Jackson. But ladies and gentlemen, it's time to move on to our next topic, which is very debatable, ladies and gentlemen. It's very debatable, and a lot of y'all may not like it. But guess what? We don't care because we in the huddle, ladies and gentlemen. 607 is a request line. First of all, 607-753-4819. Once again, 607-753-4819. So, ladies and gentlemen, we also had the U.S. Open this Saturday. Serena Williams lost in straight sets in the U.S. Open to Bianca. All right? So, Serena was chasing 24 Grand Slams, the title record of all time in majors in tennis. Is Serena Williams the greatest athlete of all time, ladies and gentlemen?
All right, let me start us off here. Serena Williams is without a doubt the greatest tennis player out there, and we're not having an argument about that, right? We're putting her down.
Is she just an overall men and women, or
That's what
female?
I was going to say.
All right.
You got to look
I
at the
think
men's side,
Because
too.
Federer
Okay,
got
some
something to
men's
say about
stats
that.
over here.
Roger Federer got some words.
Let me take a step back here, then. As a female athlete, Serena Williams is the greatest female athlete of all time.
No question.
Okay.
We're comparing her
100%.
to greatest male athletes of all time because she's that good that we're having the conversation if she's better than all these guys. So let me tell you the names I've got next to her on this list. This is the greatness that we're putting her right up next to because she very well could be better with her continued dominance than these players. You got Tom Brady, who I think is the greatest quarterback to ever play in the NFL.
No doubt.
And that I don't think there's doubt because of the continued success year in, year out that he's had. When you look at baseball, you're like
Wayne Gretzky.
your current best player is Mike Trout, right? You
Yeah.
look back your history, you got Babe Ruth transcended baseball.
Barry
Oh,
Bonds.
Barry Bonds was
Barry Bonds.
Babe
Barry
Ruth's hitting
Bonds-
rags out there for
Yeah.
home runs.
Barry Bonds
But Barry
was a remarkable
Bonds,
player.
you kind of
And
got to
you
put
look
an
at-
asterisk around Barry Bonds simply because that brother was a walking steroid.
True.
I will argue that with you another. Actually, maybe we can have that conversation in a few minutes, Leel. I want to get into that with you a little bit because I got plenty to say about Bonds.
All right, cool.
But then we talk basketball. You got Michael Jordan. You've got LeBron James as your two best basketball players of all time. You got Gretzky, obviously. You mentioned Leel. So she's up there with all these players, and the continued dominance is what you got to focus on, right? It's just how dominant has she been, and she has been unbelievable. And it's just
Yes,
now
she
that
has.
she's starting to hit a wall against these young, talented women that are starting to learn this game and get to
That
her
look up
level.
to
And
Serena
hey,
too.
you could make the argument best overall tennis player, but Federer is right up there.
Federer was right up there.
101
Federer
titles to this man's name with
Federer-
20 Grand Slams.
And
Yes.
Federer's competition.
Tennis Magazine even put him
I'll
at the
tell
top of the list.
Federer's competition is way steeper than Serena Williams' competition.
Oh,
Federer
yeah,
goes up against
Djokovic.
Nadal,
You got Nadal.
Djokovic.
I'll
Yup.
tell you this though, and that might even be a tribute to Williams. And I'll tell you this. I'll tell you why. Because she is that much better than all of the women that she plays against. That's how good she is at her sport. That
But-
there's no one who's even close.
You know what? As much as I'm on the Serena bandwagon, like the same as you are, I feel like that's an understatement. Simply because when you look at the women's tennis player, if she doesn't win, there's always new girls that pop up. It's never the same girl like it's Djokovic. All right? If it's not Federer, it's Djokovic. It's Nadal. It's either Bianca or Naomi or Coco that's making noise. It's always somebody else or Serena. So it's either Serena or it's somebody else that she's facing. It's not the same person that gets to the finals each year to play her. Like Tom Brady, the Giants, and Eli Manning for played him twice. Nah,
Yep.
it's different. You know, it's different girls, which means she's just clearly better. And the competition is
there's
just
no debate
steeper.
women's.
Like
She's-
competition
she got
is just it's not as steep. You know what I'm saying? As for
100%,
Federer
man.
with Nadal and Djokovic.
And I agree because when you have three overall, Nadal, Djokovic, and Federer,
And Nadal just won, by the way.
three guys that are easily in the top 10 to top 15 greatest tennis players for men's all time. And he's playing two of them.
Right.
So I agree with that
Yeah.
100%.
He's playing two of them, and he's older. The brother,
And you
this
know-
brother's old now.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
I'll tell you this.
He
Real
should have
quick-
beat
real quick,
Djokovic
ladies
in
and
the
gentlemen,
river.
Unfortunately, I have to go right now for a work thing in school. For school, I have to go something for work. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to leave the huddle at this time.
But Kenny,
But Leel and Robert
Leel
will
and
continue
Rob.
this argument, and definitely agree that Serena Williams is the greatest female tennis player of all time in the sport. But I'm gonna have to go. Kenny C is now dropping the mic, ladies and gents.
He dropping the mic like Kobe. As long as you imagine, we could have hit a mic drop. Imagine we heard the mic drop
Yeah, man.
right there. Oh, but
Absolutely.
all right, Robert, as you pull up.
So let me throw back the Bonds with you, Leel. All right, you ready to hear what I
Yeah.
got to say about Bonds?
Most
I'm
definitely.
even gonna pull up his stats for you. All right, because I want to do this conversation justice with you. All right. He is, in my eyes, the greatest baseball player who's had like a complete career. Right.
Mhm.
I do think Trout is up there.
Right.
I think Trout is close, but let me just keep it real with you. You look at 2004, right? Just 2004 alone, right? 2004, Barry Bonds. Now this is steroid era, right? Steroid era Bonds, right? This is all I'm
Yeah.
gonna say, right? This man had a 362 batting average. That's a crazy number for today's baseball, right? Like if you had a 360 batting average today, you'd be crazy good, right? His on base percentage was 609. So think about that for a second. This is post steroid usage, right? But he was so good before that his on base percentage 1% of the time, which is unprecedented. Trout is the best in the game today for on base, and he's getting on 46%. So he was just incredibly good, and he was MVP for years before he had MVPs, 3 MVPs before he used steroids. So
Right.
think about that for a second. And his OPS, which for those of you who may not know, OPS is on base plus slugging, and if your OPS is above 1,000, it is considered elite, right? He had an OPS of over 1,000 from 1992 until 2006 when it was 999, and then he had a 1.045 2007. So for 15 years, he had an elite OPS.
I mean,
absolutely incredible.
I would say this. You know, at the same time, right, as much as he was a pitcher's worst nightmare, right?
Yes.
And even though he had all those great luxury stats that you just brought up,
Yes.
at the same time, steroids and getting caught cheating has to put a dent in your resume.
Well,
And when we pair you against the greats of all time in baseball, maybe you're still up there, right?
No.
But it puts a dent, literally. The fact that you took steroids.
I agree, but the fact is with Bonds is that he didn't need them, and he knew he didn't need them. The reason
I don't know why he took them.
No, I know exactly why he took them.
Why he
It's
took them.
It's pretty straightforward. He took steroids because he was frustrated he couldn't get the home run record. Those two guys, McGuire and Sosa, obviously using roids back in the late 90s, right? To go for that record, 60, 66, 70. I think got 71 McGuire did, or I think McGuire got 71. And Bonds was like, listen, man, like, this is a joke. Like, I'm getting my home run record. So he starts taking the roids in 2001, right? And his stats from 01 to 04 are absolutely otherworldly stats. Like, right? Like, but what I got to say is two things. One, he's already not going to make the Hall of Fame because of his steroid usage. Even though his stats are better than any player who's ever played the game, and it's not close, right?
Right.
And but the second thing is he was already that good before the steroids.
I just feel like, I mean, if we do it like the list we're doing right now, the greatest athlete of all time, maybe you can put him in there simply because if I'm you, right?
Yeah.
If you want to base it on, like, let's say New England, right?
Yeah.
Let's say the Flakegate.
Yeah.
The Patriots didn't need to do the Flakegate.
No,
They would have won
absolutely
with
not.
tennis balls.
Not even close.
They would have won with tennis balls. So basically, the argument that you can make is that he didn't need the steroids, but he took them.
Yes,
Simple as that. That's the argument that you're
is
making.
The argument. He didn't need the steroids. He took them to get the record. He was frustrated that he couldn't get the record without them. So he's like, watch what happens when I take them. And those numbers are like not real numbers. Like, you will never see numbers anywhere close to that. He was intentionally walked in 2004 120 times, and sometimes with the bases loaded. They walked him in. There was a game in the 9th inning. I remember seeing this clip. They intentionally walked Barry Bonds in the 9th inning with the bases loaded. They were up 2. They walked in a run to face the next guy because they absolutely could not pitch the Bonds. It was that insane.
Yeah, I mean, like I
just-
said, he was a pitcher's worst nightmare. Simple as
On
that.
another level.
On another
For sure.
level, and that's when like pitching was crazy back then.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. You facing the likes of like Randy Johnson,
Exactly.
those guys that you got. Yeah, for sure. There's some good pitchers in that era. Roger Clemens out there.
Yeah, exactly.
He didn't face Clemens much, but those are some names to throw out there for sure. Pedro Martinez, maybe. Yeah.
Back to the Serena thing.
Yes.
I would say this. You see, the best overall, greatest athlete of all time, I say she's top 5. She's right in that mix. I say number 1, Muhammad Ali is for me off the top of my head.
I can give you that for sure.
But if we want to give Serena Williams a number 1 ranking outside of women's tennis, right? Because we know she's clearly ranked number 1.
Yes.
I would say she's the most dominant athlete of the last decade. Number 1. Or anybody.
No, I would go as far as to say that she's not just that.
She's
the most dominant, not just the most dominant female tennis player.
No, the most dominant athlete of all sports in the last decade.
Yes.
I'll say that. I'll give that crown to her.
And I'll add to that the greatest female athlete of all time.
All right. I could see that. Most definitely.
Can you agree?
I can agree with
on
that.
that.
Yeah.
She's the greatest female athlete of all time, and in the last 10 years, she has been absolutely incredible. Just unbelievably good.
It would be even better if she can get that record. I mean, she's over here. She's she's going to finals each year in each major or whatever. But she's falling short. And I think a lot of it. Yeah, people will look at the age. I think that's a little bit, but I feel like it's the pressure now of her.
Pressure definitely plays a part.
It's the pressure of her getting to that record. And, knowing all the controversy that happened in the U.S. Open last year, and then she keeps getting, I think it's become an added pressure now. Yes, we know she can storm through the tournament and get to the finals, but now it becomes another dimension of pressure of if she can get to that record, if she can actually break her slump that she's in, because she's pretty much in a slump ever since she gave birth. So I think that's what it is.
I'll tell you how many titles she has. 23 Grand Slams she has right now. 23 and 4. You're talking... that's 92 open titles that she has in her career, which is absolutely mind-boggling, honestly. Like, I can't even wrap my head around that. She's won the highest level of tennis 92 times. That's incredible. You know what I'm saying? The highest tournament 92 times. That just doesn't get matched. You know what I'm saying? And it's comparable and is better than a lot of the greatest male athletes of all time. And I think my biggest thing with Serena is I think she really needs to be celebrated more.
Most definitely.
That's
like
the
if you
big
talk about
reason.
influence, she's definitely in that top 5 influence of all time, like top 3 possibly, because. The influence. A lot of people watch tennis, women's tennis, to see Serena.
You want to talk
the
about,
crowd that she draws. You saw that crowd on Saturday. It was rocking.
Yeah.
The girl had to close her ears. Bianca.
Yeah, you think about Bianca and Naomi Osaka. The two of them both have grown up watching Serena Williams. They're there playing against their idol. Literally their idol. They've grown up idolizing Serena because of how amazing she is and how much confidence she can give them that she's this good. Like we can do this too. We can be this good. You know what I'm saying? Like, she gives them that confidence, and I can't stress that enough. Like, that's huge for the sport of tennis and just for sports in general. For girls that want to get into sports.
And people like Naomi, she also influenced. A lot of these girls that Serena Williams is playing in these finals are Serena Williams fans. They grew up watching Serena Williams. Yeah, so the fact of the matter is that they can grow up as a child saying, I want to be like Serena Williams. To actually play her, and she's still playing in the finals, it's unlike anything I've seen in sports.
Yeah, it's kind of incredible, man. It's insane. And you think about this, man. Like, you compare her to Brady a little bit. I know we talked about Brady a bit earlier, but think about this, man. Brady is, 42, 43 years old?
Yeah. There's
players in the NFL that were not born when his career started.
Yeah.
Think about it. Like, take a step back.
Yeah.
Like there are incredible players whose careers have just started across all sports, to be fair with you. You look at baseball players, you look at Gleyber Torres, you look at Ronald Acuna, there's a couple baseball players to throw out there. Those guys are under 22. Gleyber's 22, I think Acuna is 20, 21 now. You look at those two guys. Those two guys were not born when Brady's career started. They were 1 or 2 years old. So think about that. Think about how long these players, Serena, Brady, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Wayne Gretzky, Babe Ruth out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, these long, storied careers. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, that's what you have to look at. There's players that are starting to play. The longevity is what makes it so incredible. And now I'll tell you this right now. Mike Trout right now plays for the Los Angeles Angels. He's the best player in baseball. There's not an argument.
No question about it.
There's no argument to be made there. But will he be the greatest baseball player of all time? You have to take a step back and think about this for a second. He has to have a 20-year career to be in that conversation of greatest of all time.
I think longevity is a very key point into being one of the best. If you're talking about being the best of all time, I think longevity is one of those factors. That's why a lot of people, not to really jump off topic, but to make it a comparison, that's why a lot of people say Jay-Z's the GOAT. Because Jay-Z been rapping since, forever how long. And a lot of guys that came up with him is not.
So long. For so
but
long.
At the same time, longevity do get taken for a grain of salt. You know what I'm saying? Because some people, when you compare apples to apples, they are clearly better than another person, but their career is just longer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A bench role player career could be longer because he's not taking hits like in football, or he's coming off the bench in basketball.
Can you keep yourself together? Because all these sports have injuries involved. You know what I'm saying?
That's another thing too.
Like baseball, it's all kinds of stuff. Like it could be an elbow if you play in the field.
Even tennis.
It could be an elbow.
Even tennis.
It could be a knee.
Even tennis.
Well, of course, any sport where like to be able to hit, like the training you have to go through to get to the point to be a Major League Baseball player, right? Like to be able to throw a ball 97 miles an hour, you need to have your arm in very specific shape for that. I can go throw a ball probably 85 miles an hour right now, right? That it doesn't matter if I can do it once if I throw out my shoulder the first time I do it. You know what I'm saying? You have to go through training. You have to be able to do it in a really specific way to not hurt yourself. You know what I mean? So that's what you got to think about, man. Like the amount of stuff that you got to have in place for a player to be that good for that extended of a period is kind of remarkable.
Exactly. And the question is, since we was talking about Serena, will Serena Williams, break that slump? Obviously, I believe she will, because once you keep going to the finals each major, you have a chance. You automatically have a chance each time you make it.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what, those young girls she's playing against are not gonna slow down.
They're not gonna slow. They're coming. They're coming.
They coming for her titles.
They like her. They look up to her, but at the same time, they want to beat her.
They want their titles. You know what I'm saying? So what they got to do, what she has to do is, she'll make it to another final. Obviously speaking, right? Like she'll make it to the next final. What does she have to do with the next final? It's very simple. She's got to bring not just her A game, but like her next level game. Like she can't slump at all. She has to be on the top of her game for this to work. Like she can't mess around. There can't be any mistakes basically, because these young girls are just going to get better. They're only going to get better at this game. Right. So she's, as much as I hate to say this, she's running out of time. She has a couple year window before they surpass her current skill level, right? And they may already have the edge, right? So she has to make sure she's in her best shape possible, and she got to do everything she can to get this record. And I really truly do hope she does.
Exactly, me too, and we'll see if Serena Williams will do so.
Yeah.
But anyway, moving on real quickly. And the request line, as we have a couple minutes left to go on the show, is 607-753-4819. Once again, 607-753-4819 is the request line that you are going to call my friends to get in the huddle. But let's do a live update. We got a game on right now. Unfortunately, we're missing it.
Yeah, let me hit you with the score real quick. Let's see where we're at. So I'm going to check the score right quick. Right now, we are looking, it is 24-21 New Orleans currently.
All right. So, quarter number 4, 10 minutes left to go in the game.
Yes, sir.
So let's look at the stats here to see how everybody's doing. All right, so Deshaun Watson, 17-26, 172 yards, 2 touchdowns, an interception. Obviously,
three and a rushing touchdown. You got 40 rushing yards on there as well. So Deshaun Watson is having we're going to say a classic Deshaun Watson game, if we will. Got some rushing yards in there, scrambling, throwing the ball. Got an interception, unfortunately, but he's having a good game.
And Breeze is having an even better game based on these stats, 288 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception.
Yes.
So both quarterbacks with an interception. Michael Thomas, obviously, 106 yards, 8 receptions so far. At the end of the day, that's their guy. That's literally their wide receiver right there. That's their go-to guy to make plays, along with Alvin Kamara, who is a running back, but is used as a wide receiver. 72 yards right now.
72 receiving yards, 7 catches, and 50 rushing yards, I don't know how many attempts he has. I'm going to check that out right now. But you look at his attempts, You look at Kamara's attempts. He's got for rushing. He has 7 rushes for 50 yards. He's averaging just over 7 yards a carry. Think about that for a second. 7 yards a carry is incredibly good. That's a rate that it's actually super difficult to keep up for a game. So, and he hasn't even needed to run that much. He's only been involved in 14 snaps as far as touches on the football. So, Kamara's having himself a game. It's a close game. What quarter are we in right now?
And right now we're in the fourth.
We're in the
fourth,
fourth.
10 minutes left to go in the game.
10 minutes to go. Anything can happen.
I mean, this is the kind of game I expected. I expected it to be back and forth. These are 2 good teams,
Very good teams
that can score with anybody, that can, compete. I believe that the Texans is the 3rd best team in the AFC. I believe the Saints is the best team in the NFC, along
Yes.
with the Cowboys and the Eagles.
I agree that the Saints are the best, yes.
So, these teams are going to have a lot to say within their respective conferences.
I'm curious to see what happens in the late game. It's 10:20 p.m. tonight. That the Sunday night. Excuse me. The doubleheader
Monday night.
The Monday night doubleheader conclusion comes to a beginning at 10:20. So I'll be up until a minimum of probably 2 a.m. today watching this game. Hopefully there's no overtime.
Facts, because I got an exam in the morning.
Yeah, I got a class I got to be very awake for. It's actually our Dr. K's class. So I'm gonna need to be revved up.
That's the coordinator for this station. You don't want to disappoint him.
Yeah, we can't be disappointing our supervisor. You know what I'm saying? So got to be amped up for that. But Broncos, I'm excited to see Von Miller play. I want to see him put up a couple sacks tonight. And
that dude was a beast. But I want to see how the Raiders perform amid the Antonio Brown situation, distraction. I want to see how they come out.
I do as well, but I'll tell you this. They never had Antonio Brown. So there's nothing to compare it to.
The only thing is
he never played a
He
snap.
never played, but the distraction. To me, to be honest with you, distraction of a team is as important as anything else. If your team is distracted, your team could be a good team and don't play good because they're distracted. I want to see how this team plays. I want to see how Derek Carr plays because, like I said, he distracted the team.
This is a bad
They
team.
thought they had Antonio Brown. They thought
a bad team that is distracted.
And Derek Carr, that was supposed to be Derek Carr, reliable guy, Antonio Brown, his number one guy.
Exactly.
A guy that's fighting to stay the quarterback, a guy that he's fighting for his job.
Yeah.
So to have that luxury, even though they didn't have the luxury because he never played, but to think that you had the luxury, but realize you don't have that luxury, it's like, dang.
Yeah, so you're going to have people step up that you didn't think were going to have to step up. Like Josh Jacobs, I believe Josh Jacobs has to be his name. And he's going to have to step up tonight. Like, he's going to have to do his thing. He's going to have to come to play. And hopefully he does for their sake because they need him to come out in a big way. They need him to put up 110 yards and be a workhorse tonight. They got to stay healthy. I mean, their receiving core is thin as it is. They need to the Raiders to win tonight. They need a lot of things to go right. That's all I'm gonna say.
Who you going with in this game?
Who's my pick?
Yeah,
my pick is the Broncos. I probably say final score. They got Flacco, so I don't really feel great about that. So I would say final score 24-10 Broncos. My guess for tonight.
I think it's going to be a relatively closer game.
Okay. Do you think it's within a score?
I believe it's within a field goal.
Okay.
I think the Raiders at home is going to make it competitive.
Okay.
But I'm going to go with the Broncos as well to win that game.
Okay.
23-20.
23-20, okay.
Yeah.
So a much closer game. You think the Raiders going to put a couple more points.
Yeah.
I think the Broncos defense is going to give them trouble. I think there's going to be some sacks from Bradley Chubb and I think it's Bradley Chubb's time to break out, man.
Yes, it is.
He did not have a bad rookie campaign. Don't get me wrong. His rookie campaign was fine.
I just think that the Broncos offense is going to have a tougher time to keep up. That's why I think it's going to be close and low scoring because obviously the Denver defense is going to be, with Von Miller, all these guys, they're going to be good. So, but I just don't know the offense with Joe Flacco can keep up. I don't know. I don't believe they had that much weapons at his disposal as well.
I don't know, man. It's tough, man. Flacco is not great. He has not been good the last 3 years. Like, really has
after his Super Bowl campaign, he pretty much went down. After he got that contract as well.
Lackluster. And I'll tell you what, I can commend the Ravens for giving Lamar Jackson a chance to start when Flacco was hurt last year. I believe that's when he got his chance. But, Lamar Jackson is going to be a superstar. He's not quite a superstar yet, right? But
I see shades of Michael Vick.
He has the makings of it, and
I see.
He could even be he might even be faster than Michael Vick, which
I can see that.
Which is insane to say.
I can see that.
And if he can throw as well as Michael Vick, oh my lord, is he going to be crazy to play against? Like he's going to be a challenging opponent for years to come. Really.
The only thing I would say, and the only question that I have, or concern, should I say, with the Ravens is the fact of, is their offense going to be too predictable? Because you saw it against the Chargers. The first time they played the Chargers, they upset the Chargers, went on the road, won that game. The Chargers had no answer. But when they played the Chargers in the wild card, the Chargers had an answer for Lamar Jackson in that offense.
Yeah,
is that offense going to be predictable?
No.
We'll see.
No, I don't think so. And I think your game against the Dolphins kind of is a red flag for every team in the league that watched Lamar Jackson just sling the football. Again, I reiterate this from earlier. The Dolphins are trash.
Garbage.
They're a bad football team. This is known. Their starting quarterback is Ryan Fitzpatrick. They are bad.
Yes, sir.
Like, Ryan Fitzpatrick had some flashy plays at the beginning of last year, but he's not good, right? We know this. So all I'm gonna say is that when you take a step back, you're like, okay, where do we stand with Lamar Jackson? He proved on Sunday he does not have to throw. He does not have to run every other play. And he also, who did they pick up? Mark Ingram is their starting running back. Mark Ingram is so much better than Gus Edwards, it's not even funny. How much better he is, how much of a dynamic
He's a
player.
Physical running back. He's a pound, running pound. You feel me?
Exactly. He just pounds through the line, and he'll give you 20, 25 carries. He'll run the rock for you.
Another thing too is I like the way how, I gotta give it to the coaching staff. What it gets misunderstood and overlooked is how good that coaching staff is with John Harbaugh and that whole coaching staff to be able to know your quarterback's deficiencies and work around it to make it a luxury. Like they really got Lamar Jackson, who wasn't the most polished passer, but they really developed this guy and they worked to his strengths with the two tight end sets. They had two tight ends on the field.
They give him a chance.
To me, they operating as one of the best coaching staffs outside of New England.
Yeah, it's always outside of New England, man. New England has been that rock of a coaching staff for years,
So, like I said, I think Lamar Jackson, this is going to be his coming out party.
Oh yeah,
this is going to be his coming out party.
I'm excited for it. He's on my fantasy team. I'm here for the Lamar Jackson breakout season.
I follow Lamar Jackson from his first ever collegiate football game, first ever, and I saw him progress from his freshman year to his sophomore year. His freshman year is the year he won the Heisman, but he he didn't really figure Bobby Petrino rather offense. Like the offensive line was bad. He was running for his life. He didn't get there and settle and pass the ball good. His sophomore year, to be honest with you, was arguably better than his freshman year, the year he won the Heisman as a passer. You know what I'm saying? That's figuring out the offense. So because I see Lamar Jackson with experience, even though it's collegiate level, being able to get better in year two was why I believe, and I told everybody that Lamar Jackson will be better in year two of his sophomore campaign in the NFL, simply because he
has a full season to work with,
and he wants to learn. The guy he wants to learn.
Absolutely does.
Exactly, he wants to learn.
He wants to tear it up. And I think a lot of critics are quiet. I think their only play right now, the critics for Lamar Jackson, are like, oh, it's the Dolphins, man, terrible team. He's not good. Listen. He's gonna have a real test coming up at some point, and he's not gonna be perfect every game. So hear me
7-1 as a starter, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
7-1 as a starter.
Absolutely, and you have to take that into account, and you also have to take into account the fact that when he gets challenged this year, if he rises to the occasion, he joins that conversation with those young quarterbacks. And for me, he's already very, very close. I think he actually, I'm even going to say it right now. We're going hot take season, 4 minutes left in the show.
Let's go.
Leel.
Actually, 2 minutes. I'm playing a song.
Yeah, we better. Lamar Jackson better than Sam Darnold and Josh Allen of the Bills and the Jets. He is better than both of them right now. Right now, he's better than them. I don't know if they'll ever get to his level because he's only going to get better, and his legs are better than any other QB in the league, and it's not close.
I mean, I won't necessarily. I mean, to a lot of people, it may come off as a hot take. To me, it doesn't come off as a hot take. I can very well see that. I mean, Sam Darnold, he does have potential. He has stardom in his DNA. It's just the question of how long is it going to take for him to develop into that quarterback that we want him to be, that we know potentially that he can be.
Exactly.
Lamar Jackson, on the other hand, he's electric, and he's only going to get better with experience as far as passing the ball. It's only going to get better. You know, he showed signs of it. You know, yes, it's the Dolphins, but it's going to get better. So once he patches up that and he gets there with his legs, with his big playmaking ability,
Absolutely.
Watch out, ladies and gentlemen. Watch out.
It's going to be scary, man. I'm scared for the teams that have to play him twice a year. Honestly, I mean, they're going to know what he does, but, you know, he has ability to improve beyond anything we've seen at this point. So,
well, ladies and gentlemen, that pretty much wraps up another episode of In the Huddle. Robert is our new co-host on the show as well. Kenny C had to run a little bit early today, but I like the show. I like the energy. Like I said, It was a good show. Another follow-up show, the show that we had last week, ladies and gentlemen. We're here for Central New Yorkers.
Yeah, you know, I'll be here, man. It's a pleasure to be on the show, and I hope you guys are enjoying it. So,
yeah.
Have a good night, everybody.
Have a good night, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to send y'all off with a song to set off the mood while y'all drive home from wherever y'all going or wherever y'all headed, or if y'all going home, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good night. We'll be back next Monday, 8 to 10. Rob got a show tomorrow night. Tune in, 8 to 10. And the real Kenny C show 4 to 6 on Thursday. And the Real Leel show Friday 4 to 6, ladies and gentlemen. And with that being said, we in the huddle.